What's up, guys? My name is Saget, and today we're playing our Week 8 match for Season 8 of the Springfield Battle League. Our victory last week was the first step towards making it back to the playoffs. With a record of 3-4, we are currently in 11th, just one spot away from the playoff cut. The league has added color coding to the standings to show those who officially have no path to the playoffs left, and thus are a lock for the cup. There are 4 teams right now, and honestly it's really surprising to see Shell Shock already disqualified, as he's been a perennial contender for all of my seasons in this league. Joel remains on top of the standings, but it seems like there are at least 5 other teams that are just waiting to take his spot. Over on the leaderboards, Azumarill has an undisputed claim to the top spot on both lists as of now. Dragapult finally fell off of the KO leaderboard after having been there all season. It makes sense since he hasn't been on the field for 2 weeks straight, but it's still a little bit sad. It's unconfirmed as of the recording of this voiceover, but it's looking like our very own Squawkabilly is going to win Pokemon of the Week for Week 7. With the recap out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at our opponent for this week, which is Ajay. Ajay debuted in SBL last season and had a very strong performance. He finished as the 3rd seed in the regular season, but finished 9th in playoffs. That's actually partially thanks to me. We played once in regular season and once in the playoffs, and I won both times. When we met early in the regular season, I will say I definitely got lucky on a very pivotal turn with a Meteor Beam miss, but the playoff set is probably the best set I've ever played in my opinion. Both sets went all the way to the maximum amount of games. With all that said, he is once again having a great season this season, and I'm really going to have to play well to beat him again. Looking at his team, he's got Enamorus as his first pick. I don't believe he actually picked Enamorus first, but I may be wrong. He's been hiding it for most weeks. He hasn't actually used it very much this season, but it's definitely something that I am not going to underestimate. It's obviously got very strong stats, being relatively quick and hitting very hard, and Fairy type is pretty good in my team overall. Also, there's a specific tech that I feel like he's saving. Probably not for me, but I'm still going to be careful and not be surprised by it, and that is Stellar Terra Blast. With the contrary ability, that is definitely super threatening. Next up is Araquanid. Araquanid is a terrifying Trick Room attacker. It's really quite bulky. With that Water Bubble ability, it hits like a truck. Actually, last week it went 7-0. I'm really shocked that Squawkabilly won Pokemon of the Week over Araquanid. But yes, it can pop off if it gets into the right position. Third is Crocodile, who I'm very afraid of. It's just got a great type into my team. Dark hits a lot of my really important Pokemon quite well, mostly Dragapult and Mesprit. And of course, Ground is Muck's only weakness. With a Scarf, it can definitely just outspeed my whole team and get some kills and maybe stack some Moxies. I'm not sure if he would go Intimidate. I feel like most weeks I've shown that I respect Intimidate, so I think I expect to see a Moxie. And I think that's for the better, because I actually am not running Clear Amulet on chien-pao this week. Next is Gothorita, which is kind of a secondary Trick Room setter for this team. With Eviolite, it's fairly bulky, and of course it can be cheeky with that Shadow Tag ability. Of course it also gets Fake Out for some utility, but mostly it's here to set up Trick Room. Next is Salazzle, which has been used quite a bit this season. It's very fast and gets Fake Out, so it pairs nicely with some of the Pokemon that need to set up on this team. I'm also pretty afraid of Will-O-Wisp coming from Salazzle, and I could see some interesting tech coming from Corrosion trying to take down Muck. But probably not, but I just thought I'd call that out. Next is Iron Thorns. Now, most people see that huge attack stat and figure that Iron Thorns is a really scary offensive Pokemon, but actually it's more interesting and has been used more as a bulky Pokemon with the Assault Vest. Of course, it still hits really hard, which is why it's great with the Assault Vest, because you can put that AV on there and it becomes really bulky, and it's still hitting very hard. The only real weakness is A, it's slow, and B, the typing is not great, but it's still going to be so bulky that I'm going to have trouble with it. Here we have Knacklestack. While I'm not too concerned about Knacklestack, I am definitely preparing myself mentally for it to potentially come. It can actually be pretty scary into my team with the right Terra type. Thanks to its ability, it naturally resists Dragapult, or at least Dragapult's ghost moves. So I could see it coming and maybe being a problem, but probably not. The next Pokemon, though, will definitely be a problem, and I 1000% see it coming, and that is Primeape. Primeape has gained a bit of a reputation in this league as just a really strong value Pokemon. Historically, it's only been 5 points, which is the least amount possible. This season, it's 10. I think we might see it get bumped up again because it's still performing so strongly this season. With Eviolite and Bulk Up, it just becomes unkillable, and it starts hitting back really, really hard with Drain Punch and Rage Fist. I do have a plan for Primeape, but I'm still definitely going to have to play very hard around it. Next is this team's mascot, and arguably the main Pokemon of the team. That is Sinistcha. The main thing it does is set up Trick Room and use Rage Powder, but also it spreads around burns and damage with Matcha Gotcha. And I believe at some point it used Strength Sap. Let me check that. It does get Strength Sap. Now, luckily, Dragapult won't be affected by that, but if it does come, it will be potentially a problem into some of my other physical attackers. And of course, it's an incredible recovery move. So actually, I was not able to find out how Strength Sap interacts with Clear Body. Hopefully, it just cancels it out altogether, but it is totally possible that it will just get full recovery from Dragapult and just not lower my attack, which I could definitely still see being very useful. Last up is Empoleon, which is actually a favorite of mine. I used it in Season 4.5 to win the Cup. It's another Pokemon that he has kept fairly hidden. He hasn't used it too much, but I know that it's very threatening. With competitive, any stat drop just doubles that special attack stat, so it's very scary. Great typing, and it's just a really consistent Pokemon. Now, it did lose Scald, which is pretty great for us, but it's still going to hit quite hard. Let's go ahead and take a look at my team for this week. So you may notice my move order is a little different than usual. I almost always have Protect in my last slot. I will explain why towards the end of the team builder. So first is chien-pao, as always. I've gone with a Focus Sash set. Focus Sash set. Try saying that 3 times. Terrafire with Protect, Ice Spinner, Crunch, and Sacred Sword. As far as investment, I've gone with Max Attack, almost Max Speed, and I put my last few remaining EVs into Defense. So, all things considered, fairly standard set here. I'm not using Terra Ghost. I'm using Terrafire because I want to avoid those burns and resist Sinistcha, as well as Enamorus. Sacred Sword's going to be pretty important for dealing with any setup Pokemon like Knuckle, Stack, and Primeape. And Ice Spinner and Crunch just hit a lot of these Pokemon quite well. Next is Dragapult, with whom I've gone Power Herb, Terra Fairy, Protect, Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, and Will-O-Wisp, with the investment of Max Attack, 220 Speed, and the remainder in Special Defense. Now, another non-standard Terra, I went with Fairy because I wanted to resist Dark as well as Fighting. Now, initially, I was thinking I would go either Normal or Poison. Normal to be immune to Ghost-type moves, and Poison to resist Fairy moves. But Normal being weak to Fighting is not great, and Poison or Steel are both weak to Ground, which is also bad into Crocodile. So I ended up with Fairy being the most reward with the least amount of risk. As far as moveset, this is pretty similar, although Will-O-Wisp is a move that I don't bring too much. I might not have brought it ever at this point. I do think it's going to be pretty great into AJ's team. He's got a lot of bulky physical attackers that are going to get worn down by this burn. And also I've got some things on my own side that I may want to burn. Next we've got Inteleon with a Scope Lens and Terra Flying set. I've gone with Protect, Snipe Shot, Air Cutter, and Taunt, with near max speed, max special attack, and the rest of my points in defense. I'm going to be leaning really heavily on crits this week with Snipe Shot and Air Cutter. Air Cutter is really nice into a lot of the Pokemon here, and Snipe Shot is also really nice into a lot of the Pokemon here. We've got plenty of ground and rock types, and of course a grass, fighting, and bug type as well. Taunt is there mostly to stop Trick Rooms or Rage Powders or any number of things from Sinistcha or Gothorita. And yeah, if I get this thing in the right position and get some good luck, I could probably just Terra, spam Air Cutter, and we will be in great shape. Muck is up next, and it's got maybe the strangest set that I've built so far this season. I've given it the Toxic Orb with Terra Grass and Power of Alchemy. As far as moves, I've gone with Knock Off, Poison Jab, Fling, and Haze. And as far as the set, I tried to accommodate my offenses as much as possible without giving up too much bulk. Now you may be wondering what the heck Toxic Orb is doing here. Surely I'm not relying on flinging my Toxic Orb at something to win me the game. And you would be correct. You will see at the end of this team what I'm planning on doing with Muck. But before that, we've got Mesprit, who has the Covert Cloak and Terra Normal. I've gone with Protect, Psychic Noise, Imprison, and Trick Room. Again, with a pretty unique spread of investment here. I've gone with enough speed to outspeed a minimum speed Primeape. Put the rest of my points into bulk, and there were 4 remaining EVs that were not able to go into any of my other stats, so I just threw it in special attack. So the combination of Psychic Noise and Terra Normal is actually really strong here. Let's say Primeape is running Drain Punch, Rage Fist, Bulk Up, and Protect, which has been the standard set all season. If I Terra and use Psychic Noise, it is officially unable to touch Mesprit. Similarly with Sinistcha, if it's running Machagacha, Shadow Ball, and 2 other moves, which usually it doesn't even bring Shadow Ball, but if it's going to bring something other than Machagacha, it probably would be Shadow Ball. Similarly, Mesprit would become immune to that Pokemon as well. So if those 2 Pokemon are being leaned on quite hard, I can bring Mesprit and hopefully position myself to where I simply cannot lose. Also, we've got Imprison and Trick Room there to shut down Trick Room if I need it. Lastly is Squawkabilly, who I'm going to be pairing with Muck for some shenanigans. I've given it Choice Scarf, Terra Fighting with the Guts ability. I've given it U-Turn, Brave Bird, Final Gambit, and Terra Blast. As far as investment, I've gone max HP to make sure those Final Gambits work, just enough speed to outspeed Salazzle, and then put the rest into attack. So hopefully now the Toxic Orb and the Will-O-Wisp make sense. I can Final Gambit into something, take it out, and then Power of Alchemy will give Muck the Guts ability, to which then I can either Terra and proc my own Toxic Orb, or Will-O-Wisp myself with Dragapult. Even without Final Gambit, I think Squawkabilly is pretty good into this team. Brave Bird hits a lot of things. A lot of his Pokemon have low HP stats, so Final Gambit works into most of these Pokemon. The only exceptions are Crocodile, Iron Thorns, and Empoleon. And I guess Sinistcha, assuming it's not Terra'd. And the Terra Fighting Blast is there as an emergency. As I said, Final Gambit won't kill Iron Thorns, Empoleon, and Crocodile, but all of those Pokemon are weak to Fighting type. So if I'm in a really tight spot where I need one of those Pokemon to be gone, I can't Final Gambit it, and Brave Bird is not going to kill. Terra Fighting, Terra Blast should hopefully get the job done. Now the reason these sets are a little weird and I have Protect in most of my Pokemon's first slot is because we're actually the match of the week for Week 8, meaning we're going to play in-game in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This has pros and cons. The pro is obviously that you're playing in the game and it's really cool. The cons are that there's a built-in in-game timer, as well as the lack of an ability to calc. I'm going to try to work around the calcing thing. I think I've figured out a way to do that. But the timer's just in there. There's nothing you can do about it, which is why I have Protect in most Pokemon's first slot, because if I run out of time, I don't want them to click a move and make themselves vulnerable. I want them to just click Protect. For Muck, I just went with Knock Off because, honestly, most turns that I don't know exactly what I want to do with Muck, I just click Knock Off. And Squawkabilly has U-Turn in the first slot so that I can pivot out. Now, all that said, let's go ahead and get into the battle. Okay. All right. Let me pull up this team sheet real quick. Okay, let's see what we got. We got Scarfanamoris, Yachiberry Crocodile. Okay, so we don't have to worry about getting outsped. That's great. Expert Belled and Empoleon. So no Primeape. I feel like he knew I was going to over-prepare for Primeape. T-Wave. Oh, good call on the T-Wave. No Protect, though. I'm going to lead Squawkabilly. Shoot. Let's go with Dragapult. We're gonna go all offense. Wish me luck. All right, here we go. I don't know if I'm gonna regret going all offense. But I think Muck was probably not going to do that well here, just because... Okay. Okay, good lead from him. Damn, that timer goes quick. Let's just go for a U-turn and a protect. And Enamorous. Where's Enamorous? Enamorous can't kill Squawkabilly. It did Terra though. Oh, it might be able. It's gonna kill Squawkabilly probably. Yep, good fake out. So that's not good. Okay, it was Gleam. So we're probably fine here. Yep, alright. So not a good turn. But that's fine. I bet this outspeeds here. It is Scarf. I don't have any switch-ins, so I just kind of have to go for this. I'm gonna Terra Fire. And Crunch. Okay. What are we gonna see here? Okay. Dang, good play actually. Okay. And you do have Protect on Crocodile. So I definitely think we go Inteleon here. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam won't kill Inteleon. So we can just go for, what's, Snipe Shot and Ice Spinner. Snipe Shot will kill this Crook, right? Yeah. It depends on the bulk, but it probably will. I think I'm in a good position. I just have to keep chien-pao alive. Man, this is so much more stressful compared to Showdown. Okay, there's the Protect. Hopefully this Ice Spinner kills. I imagine it probably won't, though. Big damage. Oh, not even close. Okay. So I think we should be able to live another Gleam. Based on what I've seen so far, it might be a roll, though. And Sacred Sword isn't killing anyway, so... I'm going to protect and go for another Ice Spinner. I think that's my only choice. I have to let chien-pao go down on this turn. Good setup. Good setup. I should be able to kill this, though. Let's hope. Oh, it's Scarf. That's right. So it's going to get its damage off. Please live this chien-pao. Nice. Huge live there. Okay. Alright, so we stay in it. We know Crook's in the back. So Crook coming in here would actually be a huge issue. Who is this? It's you. Okay. Do you have Rock Slide? It does have Rock Slide. That sucks. Okay, but no Intimidate is good. So I do really think we double into you. Yep. So probably both my Pokemon gonna die on this turn. Not looking good. Yeah, especially because this Thorns has Ice Punch. I think I lose this game for sure. Oh wait, did the Rock Slide miss, or did he? Oh, I think he just went for. I didn't watch, but I assumed he went for Rock Slide there, but I guess didn't want to risk it. So that's great for us actually, because now I can let's see. I can probably just Phantom Force. I'm gonna Dragon Darts and Sacred Sword here. Or do I? I think I have to get rid of Salazzle. But if he switches, okay, we're chilling. Okay. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Rock Slide, and it hits both. So yeah, I think we probably lose now. Which sucks. But I think we played pretty well there. I am actually going to just protect and see what he does. No, I think I just go for the Phantom Force. Try to pick up the kill here. Oh, and wow, it tanked that. And we die. All right. Okay, so decent game one there. I definitely didn't give myself enough time, and he didn't bring Sinistcha, so I think really the problem there was probably Squawkabilly. He was very prepared for that. I don't know what I was thinking not leading Dragapult, because at least then I would have threatened. So the question is, do I bring Muck? No, I definitely don't bring Muck. I think I do... Squawkabilly and Dragapult. With the same two in the back. Because let me think this through. If he leads the same... If he leads the same... Okay, we can Phantom Force into an Emrys. Probably. It actually was really bulky, so let's not do this. Let's do, like, one of these. It would be close. Maybe I just lead the duo. Like, I don't even worry about having Squawkabilly lead. I don't know. I think I need to lead Squawkabilly if I'm being real. What does knockoff and poison? Poison jab. Oh, actually, I'm just gonna let it fly. I am really strongly considering bringing Muck, but we're just gonna let it fly. Same lead. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make a big, risky play here. I almost feel like he'll switch. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a bold play. Okay, so he does Terra. Oh, the final Gambit was actually not a good play. I just realized. Because if he goes for Gleam, yeah, I'm cooked. Oh, I thought I was poisoned. That's, that could be bad. Helping Hand. Uh-oh. Springtide Storm. Oh! Huge dodge! And we live! This is a huge turn one. There's the KO. Dude, that dodge is so clutch. That is so clutch. Squawk 2 of the GOAT! Oh, that's so hype. Hello everyone, it's me from the future, and I want to talk about that play for a second, because it's become a bit of a controversial moment among the players in the league, and I want to explain my thinking. Why it was a bad decision, and why it worked out anyway. So to start off, I was very confident that Dragapult was going to live the turn. I was pretty scatterbrained and was thinking that I was going to resist a fairy move instead of take it neutrally, which is why I said I thought I was Terra Poison. But either way, I was fairly sure that unless it was Helping Hand and either Moonblast or Earth Power, Dragapult was going to make it through the turn. So Dragapult targeting Salazzle was 100% the correct play here. The real silliness comes with Squawkabilly. As I said, I figured unless it was a single target move, Dragapult was going to live the turn. So I assumed that Squawkabilly would be hit with Fake Out. So going for Final Gambit was just my way of saying, if you, for whatever reason, do not click Fake Out and you single target Dragapult, you will die. Since I was expecting either a spread move or Fake Out, I really should have clicked Brave Bird here, which is why I said Final Gambit was a bad play. Because it was. Regardless of what my perfect play was, my real motivation in that brief moment was just that Squawkabilly was a lost cause. And regardless of what I picked, it would likely die within the first 2 turns without doing anything productive. So I just threw the Hail Mary, and really luckily for me, it paid off. Sorry to interrupt the battle, but I just wanted to clarify that, and I will let it go back to the action. Okay, now who do we bring in? I'm gonna lead, I'm gonna go Inteleon just because I assume he has Crocodile in the back. And he does, so we're not gonna be worrying about that Intimidate. Nice. Okay. So actually, this is not over at all. I'm gonna double... the thorns. Please kill. Okay, okay. If we do well here, this is huge. Oh, I don't think that's gonna kill. It does kill. It was a crit. Let's go. Okay. So the luck has been so hilariously in our favor. So yeah, I am going to Snipe Shot and just Dragon Darts. So yeah, that was a very lucky game for us. We got the crit. We got the Springtide Storm miss. I don't know why he didn't go for Gleam there. Maybe he thought he hit a calc, but whew, what a game. Going to big game 3. So I think I need to bring Muck. Squawkabilly, as clutch as that was, Squawkabilly was worthless. So now the only problem with leading Muck is I feel like I have to Terra. So I don't want to lead Muck. I'm going to lead Inteleon and chien-pao. Yeah, I think that's the play. Because if it's the same lead, then I can Terra Fire and switch. All right. If we win this, we're in great shape. Same lead. So now the question is, if he calls it with an Earth Power. You know what? I'm gonna make a safe play here. I'm just gonna switch and protect. Because I don't wanna Terra and then he calls it with an Earth Power and then I'm just screwed. Now it is a very passive play. Hopefully Muck doesn't lose too much health here. It'll be fine in basically any situation. Okay. Switching to who? Okay, this is fine for us. Just doing a little scouting. Moonblast. Interesting call. Huh. Okay. So, I think we Poison Jab. And, Thorns is really good in front of chien-pao. Oh, no, it's not. What the? Oh, Unterra. I'm gonna double this slot. Okay. Now if he... I don't know what to make of this. I just gotta watch it play out. Okay, we see a Terra. Water. Interesting. It's actually a pretty good Terra here. Okay. Rock Slide. Ah, wrong Pokemon dodged. Dang, that did a lot. Okay, we do get the kill though, so that's good. Whew. Alright, so could have gone better, could have gone worse. I think that turn is fine for us. We do take a lead in material though, so. Now the only issue is that comes back and now can just Earth Power. And I burn my Terra. I think I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to double here. Okay, there's the Earth Power. And it lives! That's so clutch. Huge kill! Let's go! Alright, we are in this. Rock Slide hits both. And we both die. Dang, so it's down to a 2-on-2. Alright. Now the problem is his team, the duo he's got is super bulky. And he no longer is weak. To water. Okay, I think I air cutter. What's gonna do more? Air cutter does nothing. Why? That's crazy. Alright, so I'm not going to air cutter. I'm going to actually double... I'm going to snipe shot into this slot. And Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, that's my play. And we hit. Very good. No misses. Alright. No protect. Please kill. Nice! Okay, we're in a great shape. Thunder Punch. And we live. Alright. Alright. I think we might have won. Okay, that did about a third. Here comes the snipe shot. Huge. The crit might actually end up mattering a lot. Is this Ice Punch gonna OHKO? No, it's not. Okay. I think we win. Oh, I should have protected. Okay, never mind. That is so nice. That is so nice. Huge win. Okay. So, I actually have to hop in the call now for a interview, so I'm gonna leave the video at this. Go check out the ESPN version of this. I'm gonna link it down below. Thank you for watching.